Then watch me do it again. Tell them I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. We already know that we the coldest. Watch me hit it.
Oh yeah. What's going on, everybody? We are officially running it back. We are running it back from last season, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? I'm here with the one, the only Francis Lee, and I'm here with Christian of the most anticipated Yankee podcast of the year, of the Bronx or nowhere, folks. What's up, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Okay, a little good evening from Francis. I like it. Nice. Not bad.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here with you guys, two esteemed gentlemen.
Yeah, he's happy to be here. Well, Cody Bellinger is happy to be back with the New York Yankees, and that is exactly where we are starting today. You guys in the chat, a lot of you already here with us. You've heard me talk about this already and my opinion of it. I'll give that opinion really quickly, and then we'll get Francis and Francis and Christian's opinion on this. Like I said before, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here and act like I got to be absolutely mad and livid that he got $30+ million. Now, I did say, obviously, I don't like the AAV. I'm not a fan of it. But Cody Bellinger back. The Yankees obviously like this guy, and they bring him back. Had a good year with us. Do I expect that for at least 2 years before that opt-out could happen? Do I think he can be very good? Yeah, I think so. I think he could be very good for the Yanks and hopefully be somewhat of the same guy he was last year. But, yeah, not the biggest fan of the deal overall, but it's the Yankees. They can spend their money, and they did it. They spent their money on the guy that they wanted. So, Christian, I'll go to you first. Your thoughts on the deal?
Well, I think a lot of people listening know that I'm a big Cody Bellinger guy.
Indeed.
I said it's not that I'm happy that he's back. It's just like, just thank God this thing is over with now, you know?
For real.
Because this thing went on way too long. It didn't need to be as long as it did. And, you know, I had a feeling last night after Luis Robert got traded to the Mets that this thing was going to happen today. Yeah. That Boris was going to hold out for every last second that he could to get the Mets involved. And they pivoted to Robert, and you knew it was going to be today or tomorrow at the very latest that Cody was going to sign. And like everybody knows, man, this is Run It Back 26, and we now have to see if the Yankees are correct, that they believed that they were Garrett Cole away from being a World Series team last year. So now they get to prove it.
Yeah, fact. Francis, your opinion of the deal, which you called it, by the way. You called that a long time ago.
Yeah, I see. They're already saying in the chat. The deal itself, not the biggest fan of. I think, we've said it, for the last couple months. It wasn't ideal. I put it in our chat today. I think, no disrespect to Cody Bellinger. He's a Yankee now, and he's going to be a Yankee for what looks like the rest of his career, unless he opts out, which he'd be a nutcase to do. But I feel like Cody Bellinger was more worth an AAV of around 25 to 27, maybe 28 million a year. I thought that would be a fair number. Clearly, him and Scott Boras saw that there was a gap. There was a little bit of a hole in the market, and they took advantage of it and turned it to the tune of $32.5 million a year. So credit to Scott Boras once again for doing what no other agent that I can remember in any sport really has been able to do time and time again, which is go out there and literally beat the market.
I thought we beat him up. That's what I was told.
I thought Cashman played him because I wanted to talk about that.
I purposely said that so that we can
he did that. No, he did. He did it to bust my balls. That's what he does. He knows this guy, because things don't get me hot on Twitter. I don't really get hot on Twitter. This got me hot. Because the first thing, I'm on Twitter today and the deal happened. I'm like, cool, went live, did my thing. And then I'm scrolling through Twitter in the feed, and I keep seeing people posting this stuff that Brian Cashman played Scott Boras. And it's like the Yankees got the better of this deal. So I'm sitting there looking at this over, and I tweeted about this earlier. I said Cashman, quote unquote, played Boras against no other club. But in the end, he added $2.5 million to sweeten his deal. I said, if that's being played, then sign me up. The Yankee propaganda machine is out in full effect. I don't understand how anybody could see this as being played. And don't get me wrong, this is a moot point because he's here, so it doesn't really matter. But people making a big deal about this, and the problem is, it's not just Yankee fans. I've seen Yankee beat writers coming out talking about the Yankees stuck it to Scott Boras. What? Who else was interested? Who else was offering 7 years? Who was offering 5 years?
Nobody.
You know, the funny thing is, 2 years ago, nobody wanted Cody Bellinger. The Yankees, they gave him to the Yankees. This offseason, it seemed like, again, no disrespect to Cody. I like the player, believe it or not, I do. But nobody seemed to be bonkers over him and say, we'll overpay for this guy, like they overpaid for Bichette and Tucker. But the Yankees end up overpaying for him, in my opinion. And then people are saying that Cashman played Scott Boras? I can't comprehend.
No, worse than that. I saw something worse than that, believe it or not. I saw something worse than that. Somebody said, thank God that Trent Grisham took the qualifying off.
Oh, stop it.
Yes.
I'm going to walk off. I'm going to walk off the show right now.
That's it. Show's over. That's it.
I saw it today, and it was in response to Cody Bellinger's deal and Bo Bichette, his presser. And because, today was a very interesting day, right?
Yeah.
And I think that Scott Boras, he's an egomaniac. We all know this, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It wasn't enough that he was already at a press conference for a player that he got a pretty good deal with the Red Sox in Ranger Suarez, right? No, not enough. Because who else had press conferences today? You guessed it. Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker. So that's why I feel like that's the real reason why this shit was announced when it was because he was like, you know what? I'm not getting enough coverage because I'm just announcing Ranger to the Red Sox. I'm going to have to, he cut off his nose despite his face. He's at a presser with one of his clients and he finishes the belly deal like over the phone and it gets announced while he's sitting there with freaking Ranger Suarez in Boston. If I'm in Boston, I would have been so freaking pissed. Like, how do you do this? How do you announce a Yankee signing and you're sitting at our freaking table, dude? Like, but this is who he is. This is who he is.
He don't care.
But aside from that, somebody tried to slip in that comment that because of the market, you understand, like, that Trent Grisham is actually a steal at $22 million. That not a bargain, a steal at $22 million. I tell you, people, I just want to say one thing on that because I when it comes to the Trent Grisham stuff, I can go to the cows come home. The one thing I want to say about that is nobody is happier than Trent Grisham that Cody Bellinger signed today. Because he is the #1 player on the Yankees who would have been exposed if Cody Bellinger didn't come back.
Oh, 100%. That's an excellent point, bro. Trent Grisham has got to be ecstatic right now because imagine all that ground he would have had to cover if Jason Dominguez was in left field. He would have been playing basically 1.5 outfield positions.
He couldn't cover it when Cody was there.
My point exactly.
Imagine Dominguez. Looks like he needs a stronger prescription sometimes when he's out there.
They want to say it's a hamstring injury or whatever the hell it was with him, but he was horribly bad in the outfield.
I'm sorry,
Well, let's see.
I've never loved him defensively.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you because I can't lie. People can probably look up the tweets or whatever of when we did the trade for Soto. That was my favorite thing about him. There was two things I liked when he came in the trade. Two things I liked. One of them, then the first thing was the defense.
Of course.
And the second was he had a little bit of a clutch gene. If you remember, there was that series against the Mets or whatever. He just went absolutely bonkers. Yeah. I was like, this guy, he has a clutch gene and his defense, stellar. When he came to us, we didn't see him much that first year.
Yep.
Last year, we started seeing him, and it was just like, bruh, like, I don't know what the heck happened. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it was. I mean, Pete, you remember we went there in 2024 for the Dodgers series. Mm-hmm. How many times did a ball get hit? I was going to have a heart attack that day.
Yeah.
Because
I remember.
Just the way he was tracking the ball, I was like, why?
Well, it was all year. There was balls that just flew over his head that are normally, this guy normally would catch them before, like, but
what's going on with this guy?
The thing.
So let's see. They're putting their foot in their mouth because if he doesn't look good to start the season, what are you going to say? The hamstring injury was 6 months?
I mean, look, I think all of us could sit here and say, I'll take the poor defense if he has the same year offensively.
Yeah, I can't argue.
I
with
mean,
you.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
If
no,
he
I
hits
can't argue
34
with you.
homers again, I mean, I'm not, whatever. It's almost like
It'd
the
be
same argument you
30.
can make about Bo Bichette,
Yeah.
playing shortstop. It's like,
Yeah.
well, the improvement offensively is so good. I'll take the less defense if that's the case. But I don't
I
want
can agree
to.
with
We talked a lot, and obviously you guys have talked on your feeds today on Twitter and all that about your opinion of the Cody Bellinger deal. Everybody, this is the same club. I mean, the Yankees have now the same exact team. I'll throw Francis's favorite thing on the screen here.
Hey,
This is
that graphic.
a little bit of a mock batting order, as you guys saw earlier. But the reason I want to show this is because it is the same club. And it's like Francis said earlier, they're going to kind of show us here that they really believe that the difference of Garrett Cole is going to make the Yankees go all the way as it stands right now. Now, the offseason's not over yet, but this is what we're running it with right now. Cody Bellinger returns, and you got basically the same team you had that was in the postseason last year, and the Yankees got absolutely obliterated by the now improved Toronto Blue Jays. So again, I just simply want to ask you guys a single question because we will go ahead and get to what we think could happen. Is this the lineup you want to see, or do you want to see the Yankees add to this? Because I know this pitching is out there, but do you guys want to see the Yankees add to the lineup? Is there a position that you look at and go, get somebody there? Because we got to get better in that area.
Yeah, shortstop. I mean, where else
How do
can
we all know this shit? Like, it's unbelievable to me that we can sit here and everybody feels the same way.
But think about it. If you take a look at that lineup, right, and as much as it's just like there, it's like it doesn't mean. I mean, it's going to be a good lineup throughout the course of 162. It's going to remain to be seen whether or not they're going to be able to beat good pitching in the postseason. I mean, you look at it. Where can the Yankees realistically improve there? We know Judge ain't going nowhere. They just re-signed Bellinger. We're stuck with Trent Grisham. This guy could be hitting 190 at the All-Star break. He's still going to be out there in center field because they're going to stick to that because they're so friggin' stubborn that they're going to want to prove to everybody that they didn't get. You want to talk about getting played, that they didn't get played on this qualifying offer, and they're going to keep running them out there, even if Dominguez is in the sporadic time that he's going to play, he's going to show his improvements. I mean, look at it. Stanton's not going anywhere, even though he's going to miss 65 games. Rice is pretty entrenched at the first baseman.
Yep.
Wells, I mean, they still. You want to look at a place where they could improve. Why don't we have a right-handed catcher in this friggin'?
Bingo. I mean, we signed like two of them to AAA, and nobody knows who the hell it is, but
Right.
wouldn't shock me.
Jazz Chisholm's not going anywhere. He was probably, I mean, it's him or Cody was the second best offensive player on the team last year.
Yep.
McMahon's can't go anywhere because of the money that they're paying him. And Caballero's a placeholder, but even when Volpe's ready, what does anybody realistically expect off of Anthony Volpe after coming back from this major shoulder surgery?
Nothing.
So
you can't expect more, to be fair. You really can't.
I mean, you can't expect even the same. I mean, honestly,
fair.
I would even say that he might even have a worse year this year because think of the pressure that he's going to have on himself in what is now year 4. And he knows, I mean, come on, bro. We're all smart enough to know that he hears everything or somebody hears everything and is telling him. So now not only does he feel the pressure, even if he was healthy, to come out there and be a semblance of a major league shortstop, now he's going to be playing catch up. When's he going to miss? 4 to 6 weeks, before he's ready. So I don't know. If I'm the Yankees, man, that's where I'm looking. I'm still looking to improve the shortstop position because you guys know the answer to this. What does he earn that when it's time for him to come off the IL, it's his job again?
Nothing. And I want to get to not right now, but I have a point on that a little later. But Francis, I'll get to you in that lineup. You agree that shortstop is the spot?
Yes, and can I just say infield because
Yeah.
I feel like it's some spot. I don't know if exactly the person that they target is currently a shortstop. You know what I'm saying? I think we all know who I'm talking about there, but he can definitely play shortstop, right? The number one guy on my list, it can definitely play shortstop. But I mean, in general, even if it was a situation where you traded for somebody, somehow you moved on from McMahon and you decided to, I don't know, slide Jazz back to third base and put somebody at second. I don't know how it is that they do it, but I feel like infield is going to be the spot. It's sure because at this point it can't be the outfield.
Can we just agree on something here? Them roaming Ahmed Rosario around the infield is not the answer.
No, I agree.
They're going to try to sell us that it is, though.
Yeah,
which
I
is
agree.
why I'm pretty sure you
Now,
brought it up.
I don't dislike
No, I like
the
Ahmed
platoon
Rosario.
situation
Me too.
of Rosario and McMahon. I don't mind that too much. My problem, again, goes to this. Why didn't you get better at shortstop when you have the opportunity? That's my biggest problem, because that is the glaring hole. And it's, we talk a lot about moving Jazz around, but it's like, it's almost unfair at this point. Like, this dude went 30-30. Let him have his spot. He's a second baseman. This is his best spot. Why don't you just leave him there and worry about somebody else?
That's true.
For whatever reason, Aaron Boone has already said that Jose Caballero's not an everyday guy. So you're going to have him getting days off when Anthony Volpe's not even here. But Anthony Volpe's the golden child. He's going to come back, and the door is going to be wide open for him. And they're going to say, shortstop yours. Now they're talking about their former top prospect, Jason Dominguez, is going to be a fourth outfielder. They may not even trade him. Jason Dominguez may have fallen so low that he is now relegated to the bench for the New York Yankees, and he is a fourth outfielder, and that is it. That's his position for this club going forward. Fourth outfielder. Maybe you'll play against lefties, which it wasn't his strength last year, and every now and then you might pinch run and get a chance. It's insane.
I mean, I've been saying this for how long, man? You know the Yankees don't like Jason Dominguez.
No,
There's something
not at
about him that they don't like, because they allowed Trent Grisham to happen last year. They didn't give Jason Dominguez a position and said, here, whatever happens, happens, like they did with Anthony Volpe. They allowed Trent Grisham to have that season.
Yep.
And I was reading all the stuff from Bob Clappers today that I was sending you guys, and that's Randy Miller, whoever. I read both of them today, and they were saying that one of them was saying that that's Dominguez's role on this team this year, the fourth outfielder position.
That's so insane, man.
And
Just
then
trade
think about
that
it,
kid, man.
and think about it like this: you feel bad for him that in the sense that Brian Cashman, when we had Alex Verdugo literally having a 500 OPS for like 4 months of the season, being just complete dog water in the postseason, that the Yankees didn't give Jason Dominguez more time because he can't handle. He's hurt. We got to work him back with the oblique and the Tommy John. But then they refuse to play him. So how can you out of one side of your mouth say this kid needs to play more, and then you don't play him?
Yeah.
And then you feel bad enough for Jason Dominguez, but then what are the Yankees going to do with Spencer Jones? He's going to be 30 before we can make a decision on him. He's older because he went to college. He's in that same boat as Judge, where he's coming up later because he went to college. And, granted, his game is not perfect. Was Aaron Judge's game perfect when he came up here? And again, I'm not saying, he's going to be Aaron Judge, but, Randy Miller, you can say whatever you want about him. He said that people have told him, and he believes that with his defense and power, he belongs on a major league roster right now, and that it's going to take not one but 2 injuries for Spencer Jones to get a call up for the Yankees. So again, you want to talk about wasting guys? What's his value? And they're not going to trade him. They're just going to let him rot in Scranton all year.
Yeah. Francis?
I think it's a waste, honestly, when you look at the current projection of what they're talking about with those two gentlemen. It's a waste. Spencer Jones did pretty much everything you can do at the minor leagues at this point. Like, what else is there for him to do?
And Dominguez obviously can't. He dominates AAA every time he goes there. It's 300 plus.
Exactly. No, and if I'm saying that about Spencer Jones, then it's even more asinine to think about having Dominguez down there. Like, Dominguez's development at this point is MLB. That's it. Like, he does still need to develop. I 100% agree with that. I know the defense isn't where it needs to be. I know that the right-handed at-bats aren't where they need to be. But that development can only be done at this point at the major league level. We're not even whether we're trying to see it or not. It's not the right call for Dominguez. And I'm arguing that it is also not the right call for Spencer Jones, which is why Francis Lee was so adamantly saying that Trent Grisham probably was not the right call for the New York Yankees, because you knew that you already had 2 guys on the roster who were going to need a spot, and you also knew that you only had eyes for Cody Bellinger in terms of the market. So what sense did it make to give $22 million to Trent Grisham for 1 year?
None.
1 year. I could see if you committed to him and you said, no, we're not going to give him the qualifying offer, but we're going to instead offer him a 3-4 year deal because we believe that he is a part of the future of this team. No, clearly you don't. You don't, because you gave him the qualifying offer. And I mean, you could say, oh, we hoped he wouldn't take it or what? Well, if you gave him the offer hoping he wouldn't take it, that makes you even dumber. That makes you even dumber. That makes it worse. So now you got Trent Grisham here on a 1-year contract, right? Taking yet another year's time away from one of these guys. But then a year from now, you're not going to want to re-sign Trent Grisham because he's likely not going to replicate 2025's numbers. And so you're not going to sign him to a multi-year deal. He's going to end up going somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, you're going to try to sell us on one of these two guys who you're currently treating like a stale bag of chips.
Yeah. Yep.
Because that has become the New York Yankees way.
Yep. Unless you're Anthony Volpe.
Unless you're Anthony Volpe, in which
I would
case
have
you're always trying to
loved
sell
to
him like
have.
something.
I would have loved to have seen the spin on Jason Dominguez had Cody Bellinger left about how much they always
great.
loved him.
Oh, you know they
yeah.
had it ready. You know they had it ready.
But
They
it's like
started it. They started putting it out there
You
to the
saw it.
media that he
They
was
were-
the plan and all
Yep.
that, and
You
they're going
saw
to give
it.
him the opportunity.
They were posting his numbers as a left-handed hitter.
Yeah.
That when you compare him just as a left-handed hitter, you take away the right-handed at bats, and you compare him as a left-handed hitting left fielder, he ranks at the top of the league in a lot of these. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all shit that NYU was saying last year, but you guys were saying that it wasn't good enough, and that's why Trent Grisham had to start over him every day, and everybody ate it up, and everybody, you know what I'm saying? Just all season long, ate it up, ate all season long. But now in the offseason, had they let Bellinger walk to the Mets, had the Mets ponied up and offered him 6 or 7 years, all of the cucks on Twitter would have been like, well, that was too much. That's an overpay. And besides, we got Dominguez, and as a left-handed hitter, his OPS could be anywhere from 750 to 800 plus and all this.
Yep.
Nonsense. Not that it's not true about Jason, because it is true, but it's not true that you believe in it because you didn't believe in it last year. And
They didn't believe in Dominguez for a long time. When they
that was
didn't play
my
him over
issue.
Verdugo, that's why I told them they don't believe in him. It's as clear as day.
They didn't play
There's no
Trent
way.
over Verdugo.
Exactly, but there's no way you get a top prospect that is your top prospect, was hitting over 300 in AAA, and all of a sudden he comes up and he goes, the guy that grounds out the second base every single at-bat is going to play over this guy. I even tried to be nice. I said, well, make him get his 3 ABs and take him out the game. If defense is your concern, let him get his few at-bats to begin the game, then take him out. And the Yankees are like, yeah, nah, we're not doing that either. Like, we're not playing this kid. We have no interest and no intentions to play him at all. Let's get to some super chats. We got like 2 or 3 voicemails I'm going to play during this episode. And then we're going to get into what the Yankees can do next. That is why everybody's here, to get our opinion on that and hear what we got to say about it. But David Myers just says, belly back is fine, but I want a true leadoff hitter. Who would you add for that? Well, let me tell you something, brother. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news here. Your leadoff hitter is going to be our good friend Trent Grisham, because the Yankees already talked about how good of a leadoff hitter he was. That's something that Brian Cashman already did. Talked about how great of a leadoff hitter he was for them. So that's probably where he will be back. Diego says, almost wish that Trent had played over Verdugo in 2024. There you go. Left field would have given us more of a sample size of what Trent is. Now get Hoerner and Freddie Peralta. Kyle Malay says, need Nico Hoerner as the leadoff hitter. So let's do this, guys. Let's get right into this, man. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity here. Chat, you guys have the opportunity to talk about what you would like to see the Yankees do. There are some rumors out there, to be fair, that are saying that the Yankees, that's their last big move they're going to make. And if that is, hell, I got to ask you guys this first. If this was the last big move they make, what is their grade for the offseason?
A D.
That's where I was earlier today. I said a D.
I mean, this is the bare minimum that they could have done. They've literally just brought back the same friggin' team they had last year, except for they traded for
Weathers.
yeah, I know what is. I'm trying to not call him by his father's name. Is what I'm
David
trying to
Weathers.
do.
I know. I did. I was going to do that the other day. I almost called him David
Except for
Weathers.
they traded for Ryan Weathers. I mean, which I can't even bump the grade up because he threw 30 innings last year because of the injury concerns with him. So I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause you
like,
just don't, it's too much of an unknown.
you just don't know, which is again, which with the Yankees, this is what they do instead of ponying up and putting trading Spencer Jones or trading Dominguez, guys that you clearly don't have a future for here, and getting a more of a short thing, a more of a known commodity. It's another project for them.
Yep. Francis?
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. It's a D. As much as, look, I love the Ryan Weathers deal, but the Ryan Weathers deal is what gets it to D for me, believe it or not. If they didn't, had they not traded for him, had they only brought back Blackburn, Yarborough, Tim Hill, and let Devin Williams and Weaver walk, and then eventually signed Bellinger and Trent Grisham, I'd probably be at a D minus F plus, because I would say you're literally running back the same team, sans Devin Williams and Paul Goldschmidt. And to me, that's not a squad that should be run back. I don't care
Agreed.
how much Michael K tries to sell me on the 94 wins and the best offense in the. I don't care. I really don't. I couldn't care less. When I look, I put out that tweet breaking down why 94 wins doesn't impress me. I'm still working on another tweet.
I did like it.
I'm still, yeah, I'm working on another one about the offense. Wait till you see that one. The reason I haven't put it out is because every time I'm about to, I find an even more damning stat about the offense, and I'm like, and this is what they're running back. It's bad. It's bad when you really look at it, because you can look at it overall, or you can look at it for the thing that Yankees fans care about, which is October and teams over 500. And when you look at it like that, there's some glaring shit. I mean, at how bad Trent Grisham was against those teams and in those at-bats. How many times Cody came through versus how many times he did not come through. How bad Volpe was in those at-bats, and they kept running him out there, right? How many times Jazz struck out in those. It's really bad when you look at it. Like, when you look at it, when we're up against the upper echelon talent in the league, we're literally, and I know you guys know this already, but I'm going to say it, we're literally a one-hitter offense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. Like, people say that when I hear that from people about how great the Yankees offense is, that's one of the best things about being able to call games, is because I could go back in my own mind and go, I remember so many games looking up and saying the Yankees haven't scored. It's the seventh inning. There's no runs on the board. And then the seventh inning, they might get a run across or two across, something like that. But they would go innings, days, like in terms of a game, they would pass, and you're like, they have nothing going on right now. We see this a lot from this offense. And Francis is right, man. When they face a good pitcher, forget about it. I mean, when they face somebody good, forget about it. It was going to be a long day in the office, and you don't want an offense like that. But before we get into the moment a lot of people want to hear is what's next, because that is the big topic of conversation now. I think a lot of Yankee fans do feel the same way, that this is the same club. Now it's, will they do additional moves, or are they going to sit back and relax? Couple of more super chats here. My guy Alex, my brother, says, when you look at what other teams have done and what the Yankees have put together this offseason, I give it an F+, and that's being generous, and that's fair. I think that's fair. Tony Rivera adds in, I want them to get Nico Hoerner just to hear Uncle Dom sing some 2 Live Crew and free the Martian. Freeing the Martian at this point means just trading him somewhere else. That's what freeing the Martian means at this point. Let's get to one voicemail, and then we're going to talk about what the next moves could be.
What's up, Pete? Jake Purvett. Been a minute, brother. You know why? Newborn. You understand the lifestyle, but shout out to you, Pete, Francis, Kev, Christian, for giving me something to do at night. I might not catch the shows live all the time, but it's been good just to still have the you at my side while dealing with a newborn. So anyways, with Bellinger, thankfully it's not my money. I do feel like Boris got played. I don't think there were any other teams in the mix, but at least Scott Boris was out here, blowing his trumpet saying he's going to get 7 years and all this stuff. And ultimately, you got to give Cashman credit. I can't believe I'm saying that because I hate this fucking guy. But you got to give him credit for holding his ground and getting a 5-year deal for Cody. And hey, now the question is, do we actually have a leadoff hitter, or are we going to go get one? Because you can't have Grisham and then Judge hitting second, because I think we all know Judge can't hit second all year again. What star player have you ever seen hit second? What best hitter have you ever seen to hit second? Judge has to be back to 3, put Bellinger hitting second, and go get a freaking leadoff bat. I'd love to see Freddie Peralta, but if we don't have a leadoff hitter, and then 7, 8, and 9 always has the potential, Wells, Volpe, Caballero, and McMahon, if those guys are having another down year and we don't have a leadoff hitter, Bellinger doesn't mean dick for this team. So, Cashman, don't go to sleep yet. You got a lot of work to do, pal.
The last part I obviously agree with. There's a lot more work that need to be done, and obviously that is a very, very easy segue into what is next for the Yankees. And
well, can I just make a comment here?
Please,
real quick?
please do.
He said, what star player hit second? Juan, Soto. How'd that work out for the Yankees?
Worked out wonderful.
I mean, I said this on NYYOC this past week, man, when I was doing that, and I said every day that we get further and further down this path of the Yankees not winning a World Series, that decision that Hal Steinbrenner put his balls between his legs and walked away from Juan Soto looks worse and worse. And this is coming from somebody that actually felt that at least for 2025, the combination of Bellinger and Fried probably did more for the Yankees than just Soto alone. Is when you factor in the injury to Garrett Cole, about how they absolutely needed Max Fried. But I mean, come on, guys, where did we go with Juan Soto? Where haven't we been since 2009? What's the? I mean,
that series might actually, the Toronto series might actually be very different too. Because if Judge hit the way he did, and let's just say Soto hit like Soto always does in the postseason, it's very different
series.
It could be such a different series.
Very different series.
The way he works batters. I mean, a guy like Trey Savage would have probably struggled a little bit against him because one thing about Soto, that splitter is nasty, and he's going to chase every now and then, but he's also going to pick up on it very quickly, and he's going to be able to lay off it. And
exactly.
The one thing too that people do forget, and it's funny because it seems like these shows always come back to Soto, and we get that a lot, but.
I hate doing it too because like
me too. I say this,
but if until we get to at least that point, then that's the standard of where the Yankees have to go to, and they were so far behind that last year. And you get people that say, "Oh, they won 94 games in back-to-back years." Great, hang the fucking banner next to the retired numbers then, if that's what's important to you. Because I'm only concerned about getting back to the World Series here, and that's what it's all about. Why are we wasting our time with a team that wins 94 games a year? Okay, great. I mean, don't we have a higher standard for what it means to be a Yankee and for it to be a Yankee fan? So all I know is that since 2009, they had this guy 1 year, and that was the only year since 2009 this team has been to a World Series. And then people, they're like, well, we didn't have to play the Astros that year. I don't care who the hell they had to play that year. I'm looking at the end result. Juan Soto got the Yankees to the World Series. Who hit the home run to put them there?
Juan Soto, one of the greatest moments that I've had over the last how many years of watching Yankee baseball, hell, calling it, that's my favorite moment. By far my favorite moment. It was that good. And it's funny, too, because the Yankees never had to reinvent the wheel. And they saw something that worked, and they still haven't ran it back with that. They still haven't figured that out enough that if you add a really good lefty at number 2, have Judge number 3, have a good leadoff hitter, you're setting yourself up for success, and they haven't done that yet. So looking at the roster, we talked about that. And the one thing about us here, and I think this is very fair to say, we're not these types that come live, go on live, or even go on social media, and we ask for the world. Or we talk about the most bizarre thing that everybody can sit back and go, there's no way that deal's going to happen. There's no way at this point you're getting Fernando Tatis Jr.
That was the name at the tip of my tongue.
You know what I mean? Right? Because I've seen that a lot. I get a lot of replies. Pete, come on, Tatis. I'm like, guys, come on, man. Like, they're not moving. It ain't going to happen. So I want to ask both of you, because this is the big thing out there right now. Now, John Heyman tried to shoot the Yankees down here, actually, on Freddie Peralta. He's the big name right now. Everybody believes he's going to be moved. He did a live today. This is after the Bellinger deal, I believe, where he didn't even have the Yankees listed as a top 3 team. He don't believe they're even on it. He got the New York Mets. He had the Atlanta Braves on there over the Yankees. He said straight up, basically, that if the New York Mets are willing to offer, what's his name again, Francis? Jonah what?
Jonah Tong.
If they are willing to offer him, and there's Jet really Williams. Nobody that's beating the Mets on that type of deal.
And that's nuts.
But to his credit, to John Heyman's credit, the Mets do need him more than the Yankees do. I think that's fair to say. Like, they definitely need him more.
Of course they do.
That's my question to you guys. If that is the next move, do you want Peralta? Obviously, I think we all would say Peralta's a good player. That's where the Yankees should pivot. I said today, I hope within 48 hours he's a Yankee. But if Peralta isn't the move, is there another name out there that you feel like the Yankees can go after? Francis, I'll start with you.
Pitching wise, I brought up in our chat today a couple of the arms in Kansas City. Kansas City's an interesting case study because right now they are kind of a little bit in no man's land, and they have pitchers coming up who are probably going to get paid decently, and they're probably not going to be the ones to pay them. Kansas City is a smaller market team, as we know. They have stars to worry about, but right now I don't think the ones that they can worry about are in the rotation. So there are guys available like a Bubic and stuff like that who you haven't heard anything about. And I'm not saying Kansas City absolutely positively wants to trade those people, as Christian's camera zooms
That
all the
zoom
way.
in was wild.
Look
at this.
It was like Bubic.
It just zoomed in on him.
Boobies.
Yeah.
Boobies.
Bubic is somebody who obviously it would take the Yankees getting creative. It would take that would be one of those like under the radar ninja cash move that people speak about, where nobody saw it coming. It wasn't on anyone's radar, and then boom, it happens. Similar to Ryan Weathers, nobody saw that coming. But I don't know, bro. I mean, I saw that ask that's being reported for Peralta and from the Mets, and I'm just like, dude, no disrespect. I mean, I like Jonah Tong. Pete, I was with Pete one time, and I was like, the game was there, and I couldn't take my eyes off the freak watching. He was pitching against the Reds. I love that kid. I love the way he pitches. I'm saying, if he's the headliner of a package, the Yankees have that. The Yankees have that more than once. They have that. So if he's the headliner, if it's him and Jet Williams, the Yankees can put that same package together. And guess what? The Yankees aren't an NL team. The Brewers don't have to compete with us to get to a World Series. They wouldn't play us in the playoffs unless they met us in a World Series, meaning that it behooves them to trade him to us over the Mets.
Gates of Above is saying it's Sprout. They're asking for Sprout and Williams is what I guess maybe the new rumor is. He's a big Mets fan.
That's okay. So it was Brandon Sproat the whole time?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Okay.
But I heard Tong's name.
Jonah Tong and Jet Williams. Well, listen, hey, if it's Brandon Sproat, even better, because Brandon Sproat would mean essentially Elmer Rodriguez for us.
Yeah.
And that's not a shot at Elmer Rodriguez. That's kind of a tip of the cap to Brandon Sproat and Elmer Rodriguez. They're both really, really, really amazing young arms. But my point is, we have that. Like, why would you not do that? If that's what the ask is right now, how are the Yankees not engaged there? You can't, I mean, are they really about to do both? Are they really about to like squeeze the wallet and prospect hug at the same time?
You can. And Christian, I want to get to your take obviously on it, but I do just want to throw that out there before we move forward is, am I wrong to say this is the time for the Yankees to unleash everything? Meaning the prospects at this point, fucking enough. Like, stop this shit.
Do I have to make this point again? How old is Aaron Judge going to be this year?
Yeah, 34 years old.
Yeah, and I looked it up. You can Google AI this if you don't believe me. A man's physical prime ends around the age 35. So
I know.
Hey, bro, I'm way past that, bro. I'm way past that. So look,
no, they're hoping that Aaron Judge is like the LeBron or Tom Brady of baseball or something. And while I have the same hope. I have the same hope, Christian. But that's all it is. It's hope. And hope is a chick I went to high school with. Like,
she give you a handy under.
She
give you a handy under the bleachers after the football game.
She might have.
And I say this too, man. Like, Aaron Judge has to be an MVP for the Yankees to survive. So that means
100%.
He has to hit 330 with 50 bombs. So if I told you Aaron Judge hit 304 with 42 home runs this year, you'd probably be like, wow, that's a great season. But how are the Yankees making up that difference?
What was it? Was it DS this week?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Literally,
what they have to do to be a better team. Like, everybody got to overproduce.
Towards the end of DS, I was like, this is the part of the conversation no one's having. That you run it back and you run it back. And the only reason that that's even a possibility
is because he has to be the MVP.
Aaron Judge is in God mode. But the moment that he has a regular season, everything tanks. Everything tanks. All of a sudden, Trent Grisham's 35 home runs, not good enough. All of a sudden, Cody Bellinger's 3.8 offensive WAR, not good enough. All of a sudden, Jazz Chisholm's 40 stolen bases and 30 home runs, not good enough. If Aaron Judge is just a very good player, I'm not talking, if he's not the best offensive talent, the Yankees are a completely different team. It's like they're literally, they don't understand, people don't realize, they're literally banking and betting on God mode Aaron Judge every year.
And you just made a point that I've been trying to make for a long time. You know why that's the case? The roster construction.
Oh, well.
It's the construction of the lineup of something I've been harping on for so damn long, is that the Yankees can't win. They have a hard time winning those 2-1 games, especially if there's a guy in the mound that puts batters away, that strikes batters out.
Well, what happens?
There's a guy like that on the mound, it's tough.
What happens in 2-1 games? What happens to Aaron Judge in 2-1 games? Which you would know.
He's not going to get pitched to.
Better than every fan because you call every game.
The four horsemen come out.
Exactly.
The four horsemen come out. That's it. You see Ole Anderson over there going like that out of nowhere, and that's it. He comes out, that they walk him. And that's the big problem with this team, and this is why I talk about this a lot. When people talk about, well, the offense was great. Come on, what are you guys talking? I'm sitting there going, fine, but I'm talking about roster construction. I'm talking about guys that can get on base, that don't strike out. It's one of the main reasons all of us here was saying that Bo Bichette makes a lot of sense for the Yankees, because he's an additional guy that puts the ball in play. He doesn't strike out. He doesn't have bases loaded, 1 out, and what the Yankees do. Strike out and a pop out. Strike out and strike out. Nobody puts the ball in play enough to get runs across the board. And that's one of the big problems is if Judges walked and a team goes, we're good, we're not going to face this guy, is anybody overly confident that everybody else is going to produce that game against a good pitcher? No, we're not. And a lot of it has to do with how they constructed this lineup. And that's a big problem. So, again, I ask, as Alex adds in there, ring around the rosy, Judges Yankees. It's exactly what it is. And I'll ask you guys a question here. Is Peralta more important than upgrading the offense somewhere?
In my opinion, no.
Okay, Francis. I feel the same way. It just depends on who it is, because it's hard for me to say that, because you are getting Garrett Cole back. And I know what you're going to say, Francis. I know. We don't know how he's going to come back. We don't know who he's going to be. You can't depend on an ace. You can't think he's going to be an ace. You're also getting Rodon back, and the Yankees do have a plethora of young pitching in the minor leagues that are very, very close.
Yeah, but you have Heel, you have Schlittler, you have Warren, you have Fried, you have Rodon, you have Cole. If David Webb, I knew I was going to do it.
There it is. At least one time it had to happen. You got Ryan Weathers.
They said what's his name again?
Elmer Rodriguez.
Because he took away the hyphen. Yeah, okay.
He didn't want to have the same last name as Kev. I don't know.
I don't blame him.
I understand.
I don't blame him.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what Kev did.
We know Kev is missing. I don't know exactly. I think I know what happened, but I don't want to.
I heard. I've been reading.
Yo, Pete is an asshole, bro.
Kev, I love you, brother.
He bought a costume on Amazon so they wouldn't come looking for him, but I don't think it worked.
Yo, nah. Yeah, wow.
But
it's mad funny because somebody was saying this shit earlier in the chat. I'm not gonna repeat it, but that shit happened.
Oh shit, I didn't.
I'm gonna tell you when we get off air. Somebody said some shit.
But I kept people think that Rodriguez can make an impact at the major league level this year later on in the season. So I think there's enough quantity and quality for the Yankees pitching wise, starting pitching wise, that they will be able to get through the regular season. They'll be able to get through the postseason if they can get far enough into it. But because I don't look at any number of these guys in their rotation and say that's a dead spot. Even Will Warren. I don't look at Will Warren and say that's a dead spot. Maybe on the road I do. So you finagle it so he gets pitches at home a little bit more. But I like Will Warren more than a lot of people do, and I understand that. But I think Will Warren is a capable major league pitcher, back end of the rotation type of guy, sure. But I don't look at him and say, oh shit, we're gonna lose today when he comes on there. I think he does have the capabilities to pitch well, and that's probably your weakest link in the entire rotation. So I don't look at any. I agree with you, man. I've been banging the Will Warren drum for 2 years here. Chris and I used to get into fucking brawls over Will Warren.
I was with Chris. I couldn't stand him, but then he won me over. He won me over a bit last year because, again, he does provide innings. Like he's a guy that he's a fifth starter that could give you 5 innings, and it's like, come on, man. That's a lot of times that's a lot what you can ask for. He gives you it.
More often than not, he keeps you in. He gives the Yankees a chance to win. He wouldn't.
He can keep you in games.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm not saying on any team. Like if he played on the Pirates, I think he'd be a nightmare. But if you're on the Yankees and you give up 3-4 runs and you're out of there by the 5th, 6th inning, 3-4 runs should not be insurmountable.
Agreed.
But like I was trying to say is that, okay, you look at everybody that could take starts for this team this year. You don't look at any of them as a dead spot in the rotation. Now go look at this everyday lineup. Can you confidently give me four I'm asking, that are not going to be complete dead spots in this lineup? Okay, we'll say Judge, Bellinger, Jazz, and what do you want to say? Rice? Would you say Rice would probably be the closest thing to maybe a given for this lineup this year?
Yeah,
okay,
I feel
that's
that way
less than
about Rice,
half.
yeah.
That's less than half the lineup that you feel confident in.
No, I agree. I
The
agree. I
Yankees would
agree
say
100%.
to put Trent Grisham in there.
That's bananas.
I'm going to dump him in. I can't. I'm not going to say it. Okay.
Yeah,
But
that's absolutely nuts.
That's what they
Trent Grisham is being relied on as to be a top half hitter for this team.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's terrible.
But it's true. We know. Listen.
Look,
We know that they actually believe this shit, Christian.
Yeah, of course they do.
We're in the minority. People are running around saying we're crazy because we don't believe in Trent Grisham like them. Because the Yankees know more than us.
Yeah, they're better than everybody. No
We're
doubt
wrong
about
for
it.
questioning them. They've never gotten it wrong in the past. Why would they get it wrong now?
Yep, no doubt about it. And for me, I feel this. And I know Carl's in there saying, "What about Stanton?" But Stanton, you just don't know with him. And that's the thing with Stanton is
65 games minimum. And
Yeah,
I
you
love
don't
John.
know
I
with
love
him,
G.
man.
I love this dude. I'm telling you, if he played 120 games this year, I'd be fucking stunned if he played 120 games this year.
Another thing we got to remember too, we were talking about all those pitchers. You got, Carlos Agranje is down there too. You got Ben Hess, who's going to be in Double-A, and they feel like Ben Hess has a chance to rise through the system quickly. What's his name? Chase Hampton is also going to be healthy. He's going to come back. He should be a Triple-A guy immediately out the gate. Also, too, Brendan Beck is another guy they feel could help them this year at some point. Got all the way up to Triple-A last season. But, they got a lot of young pitch, and they got a lot of depth in the starting pitching area. So it's funny because I agree with that statement. I know, chat, I don't know what you guys were saying then, if you want to throw it back in there. Do you feel that Peralta's more important, or do you feel possibly getting a bat? And obviously, everybody's going to look at this like Christian said earlier. Shortstop is the obvious move. So let's get right to it, right? Let's talk about the guy that everybody out there right now is talking about. I put a tweet out there earlier saying, if you want to win this offseason, you want to go for it, Nico Hoerner. Nico Hoerner is a guy that came out. Obviously, Nico Hoerner was never expected to possibly be moved. There's also still, by the way, no real expectation that he is going to be moved. There's just rumors that there's a chance because of the Alex Bregman deal, and he's going to be a free agent. So they don't have to move him. Johnny Riv says Yankees are effing frustrating like PNC Bank. Yes, Johnny Riv. Anyway, that's an inside joke. Nico Hoerner, really good player. If you get Hoerner, you don't get Peralta. Let me ask you guys this: where do you move your? Oh my God, I was gonna say the biggest AO. I was gonna say, where do you move your D? Hey yo, wow.
Boom, boom, boom. Now let me hear say.
Where do you move your D? Do you
zooms right in on Christian?
Zoom right in. They want to hear from him first. But no, really. Where does the grade scale go for you? Where does the grade scale go for you? Do you go to a B?
Yeah, I would.
I think I'm at a B probably. What do you have, Francis?
If it's Belly, Hoerner, Grisham, Weathers, and then the trio of pitching.
I mean, you went further than me. I'm only thinking about Bellinger. Bellinger and Hoerner is it for me.
I have to there's something wrong with me up here. I have to do the whole thing. That's why I end up talking so much. Yeah.
Carlos is in the chat at the worst time. We're talking about trading everybody.
No, but he joined at the right time because somebody was like, "Hey, what happened to Roderick Arias?" And I was like, "Well," but Carlos said it, not me. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but yeah, I would say a B. I would say a B for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think B's fair because, again, we can do this. I'll bring up Francis' favorite slide real quick again. And
look at that graphic.
If you go ahead and say Nico Hoerner, and by the way, he can play shortstop. So, again, it's not like somebody that you're saying, man, you're putting this guy in a position. What the hell are you going to do? He plays shortstop. If you decide on just bringing everybody down a slot, think about the difference for a ball club. You could have Hoerner, Rice, Judge, Belly, G, Jazz. That's a major difference. You look at that lineup and you go, now we're talking. Ben Rice, I think, could be deadly being protected by Aaron Judge. They're a much different team. That simple moves, I think it adds a lot more than what Peralta just adds himself. And by the way, me, whoever you want, make the deal.
We talked about it. You got to put everything in the middle of the table this year. This could be the last year. I'm hoping it's not. Obviously, I'm not rooting for this. This could be the last year of, as Francis calls it, God mode Aaron Judge. You got to cash in on this. Christ, they should have really cashed in on it 2 years ago. I hate bringing up 22 again, but that was the you did the what you did that thing, but they still left things around it, like a concussed Anthony Rizzo. Okay, like this team frustrates me, man. Like you guys get it.
And that's my thing too. Like, I know you're probably going to bring this player up, but again, Spencer Jones and Dominguez. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing with all the pitching we got? Los, I know you love all of them. But what are we doing with all of them?
Tanking their value.
If you're not going to play them, if you're not going to play them, what purpose do they have here on this team this year when you have 1 year, you possibly have 1 year of an elite level Aaron Judge left? Do you want to be in the next 4 years, whenever it is that Aaron Judge is going to retire, and say, we did this, we covered this guy's entire career, and he sniffed one World Series because that was the only year the Yankees put their big boy pants on and made a superstar acquisition to put in the lineup with him. And I'm not saying Nico Hoerner is Juan Soto by any stretch of the imagination, but it represents the Yankees thinking outside of their bubble and saying, hey, this guy. You know, Nico Hoerner would have the second highest offensive WAR in the 2025 Yankees.
Yes. That's why I think a lot of people hear Nico Hoerner, they look at the baseball savant page and they go, okay, this guy, man, oh man, there's the barrel percentage is low, but he puts the ball in play. That's what he does. He gets ground ball singles. He pulls the ball a bit. I know some people might deter that. Oh my God,
he gets on base in front of Aaron. That's why, you know what? I don't want him because he's left-handed and he can't play defense for shit. But if you told me that we had a right-handed version of Luis Arraez out there,
put him on the team
to put him in front of Aaron Judge. Oh my God, he only hits singles. Great, he hits 350 getting on in front of Aaron Judge. What a crime that would be.
And Nico Hoerner got about a 350 on base percentage just about every year. I mean, these are and there you go, Ludin, my guy, steals bags too, so it makes your offense even more dynamic. I mean, that's the thing with this club right now. And Francis, I'll throw it over to you. Who the hell what are they doing with all these players? What are they doing with all these guys? Like, at some point, you got to think that Cashman has a trade that comes out of nowhere. Now, before you, and you can answer all you got to answer, but I want to pose a question to you.
Okay.
How much influence do you think their faith in Anthony Volpe has to do with the Yankees improving their club?
I'd say a lot. I'd say a lot. I think there's no two ways about it. How could you argue that it doesn't? When you look at the fact that there was the greatest free agent class of shortstops in the history of the game, and they completely ignored it. Not only did they ignore it, but they made a trade to pave the way for another team to capitalize on the market instead of them. And that trade involved finally, pulling the eject cord on Gary Sanchez because they ruined it. And then also trading Gio Urshela because, and I quote, he was no Josh Donaldson.
Well,
So that the Minnesota Twins
that was true though
could sign Carlos Correa. What was it though? Because the version of Josh that we got.
No, I'm saying he is not Josh. He was not Josh Donaldson. He was better.
He was better. Oh, yeah. Oh, you said you were too slick for me there, man. You got me, bro. I mean, so when you look at them doing all of that, I mean, the mental gymnastic that it takes to make a move like that, and to know that you're going to get heat from the media because you're literally paving the way for Minnesota to sign a guy that your fans want you to sign. And you're saying, no. We got Volpe. And then Volpe comes and nothing. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to tell you, no, Francis, not nothing. Gold glove in year 1, 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases, whatever it was. He was good. Okay. Year 1, I'll argue that it was a building block for sure. Year 2, year 3, come on. What are we doing now? And then not only that, but after year 3, you have Bo Bichette out there. And you say, no thanks. You have Caballero on your team. And your manager says, not an everyday player. You can't tell me that the influence of Anthony Volpe doesn't loom large over this team and all the moves that they make. I feel like even the way that they speak about the team is tailored in a way that they feel like would fit their narratives that they want around Anthony Volpe. Does it make sense? No. I don't know what is it. This kid's a prospect. What has he done? What has he done? How has he, bro, we're talking about starting shortstop for the New York Yankees, and it seems like only we give a shit about this anymore. The Yankees don't seem to care. The 29 other teams in the MLB are laughing. They can't, because they too cannot believe that the New York Yankees continue to run out this circus at one of the most important positions on the field.
Yep.
I mean, there's a clip that was going around last week of Aaron Boone and all the things he said about.
I wish I could pull it up and play it. It is so bad, man. It is so bad, man. Wow.
Bro, and you know it was made. You know it was made by like a Red Sox fan or a Mets fan or whatever. But they're not wrong. You understand? When we have to agree with the likes of people named Giraffe Neck Mark and fucking Ben Verlander and Jared Carabas and the other dude from Astros Twitter, when I'm agreeing with them about my team, there is a problem. There is an issue. There's a huge issue. You think I want to agree with Ben Verlander? No. But he put out something today. I was like, I can't argue with this. I can't argue with this. He's literally asking. He's not a Yankee fan. He's on Twitter asking, what happened to the Yankees I grew up with? I don't recognize these guys.
Nobody does. Join the club.
Well,
And I don't agree.
Well, look, when the owner, and this is the second this came out again today in one of those articles I was reading because I had read this a few weeks ago. When the
NJ.com?
Yeah, when the owner of the team did not want to get into a bidding war because he was embarrassed by what happened to him last year. That's all you need to know is that Hal Steinbrenner, for once in his life, he woke up and decided to step up out of his comfort zone because, look, I'll put it to you like this. We always gave Hal Steinbrenner a lot of credit for not letting Aaron Judge go anywhere. But guess what? He couldn't. He couldn't watch his meal ticket walk out the door. And he got Aaron Judge to come back. Yeah, exactly. He had nothing to sell. And he got Aaron Judge to come back. But the one time that he decided he was going to bow his chest out and be a big boy, somebody punched him in the face and he walked away from it. And now he's never going to step up to anybody again. His father, and I hate being this guy because we've been screaming about this for years. If George was alive, guys, George is spinning in his freaking grave right now, knowing what Hal did this offseason.
He's in China by now.
I can't believe it. They banished, and God rest his soul, they banished Hank to go play with the horses because he brought A-Rod back. And this is what we were left with?
Yep.
Give Jennifer the team. I want Jennifer Steinbrenner running the baseball operations now, okay?
I want Larry David as George Steinbrenner to run the team.
I don't care, bro.
I'll take that.
I'll do it. Fuck it. It doesn't matter anymore. He actively is not willing to engage in fights with other owners because it embarrassed him. Instead of getting up and, I lost the first fight, well, I'm going to get the next one here. Now, if Steve Cohen had woken up today and said, or yesterday and said, no. We're not trading for a project. We're not going to take a $20 million gamble on Luis Robert. We're going to get Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger would be in Queens right now because Hal would have tucked it back again and said, no, yeah, I'm not fighting this guy. Because the last time he fought him, he lost. And you and I and Francis and everybody listening knows this to be true. There was some sort of unspoken agreement, and I'll go to my grave believing this, between Hal Steinbrenner and Steve Cohen regarding Aaron Judge's free agency.
I'll tell you what the agreement was. You want to know what it was?
What?
You want to know what it was? Steve Cohen would never have gotten approved as an owner if Hal Steinbrenner wasn't on his side. The number one owner that he needed to go to the other owners was Hal Steinbrenner. Everybody knows it. If Hal Steinbrenner would have went to the other owners and said, look, guys, I don't know about this guy. I'm also from New York. I hear these things that you guys hear. But why he needed Hal Steinbrenner? Because Hal Steinbrenner owned the Yankees, and he was trying to buy the Mets, and all the rumors and stuff about him originated here in this city. So what did he do? He went and he fucking bought Hal. The first deal that Steve Cohen made before buying the Mets was buying Hal Steinbrenner. And the way that he did it was saying, listen, I know what you're worried about. And I can promise you this. In 2 years or 3 years, whatever it was at that time, when Aaron Judge is a free agent, I won't touch him. I won't pursue him. There'll probably be rumors out there or whatever, but I promise you, we won't pursue him. And I bet you that was the handshake deal. And Hal fell for it and went to the other 28 owners and was like, no, Steve's a good guy. He's going to play by the rules. I mean, yeah, he's going to make a couple splashes when he first starts, but he's going to play ball. You guys will see. And then he got
definitely.
fucked. And then he got fucked.
I mean,
He definitely
that's
did.
something definitely went down between those two.
I'm telling you, that's what it was.
Because if Hal Steinbrenner had to fight Steve Cohen for Aaron Judge, where do you think Aaron Judge is right now? Do you think Aaron?
Shit.
You want to know where? Probably still with the Yankees,
but being paid a whole lot more.
Yeah,
probably being paid a whole lot more.
Well, maybe he would have stayed because maybe he's the one guy, but you're probably right. That contract is looking a lot different than it does right now.
It definitely looks a whole lot
at least
different.
50. He's the first $450 to $500 million player.
It's a lot different. It's a lot different for him to walk away from the San Diego Padres than it would have been to stay in that same town with the Mets and to play that against Hal Steinbrenner.
Definitely. So to wrap this conversation up, and I'm gonna let the chat answer this question. This is gonna be easy for everybody to answer. It is January 21st. Today's the day, obviously, the Yankees signed Cody Bellinger. He's back. As we got a super chat here. E. Diego says Steve Cohen rather has dirt on Hal. I wish if he did have dirt on Hal, put it out there, damn it.
Yeah, really.
For real. Get it out there. Get it out there to the public, would you? Do the Yankees, chat, asking you too, throw it in there. I'm going to ask Francis, I'll ask Kev, I'll answer myself.
I'm not Kevin. Don't do that again.
I said Kev again. Why do I keep saying Kev for? My goodness. Kev is somewhere. I can't say where he's at right now, but he's somewhere else.
We know.
We know where he is. I mean, let me stop. I was going to say something that was really inappropriate right there, but I'm not. Do the Yankees, I'll ask again. Let me rephrase this. Francis and Christian. Before I'll answer after that. Do they make one more big move? And I'm talking about not a reliever. I'm talking about the type of deals along the lines of Peralta, Nico Hoerner, a move like that. Do the Yankees before opening day, or not even, I'll say before spring training, that's what, 20 days away roughly, something like that?
Less than 3 weeks now. Oh, tomorrow.
There you go. Do they make one more big move bare minimum? We got a lot of no's in the chat. I'm going to start with Christian.
Dude, you're asking me to think about this rationally is what you're asking me to do. Because everybody is saying no. Everybody, Kay said it today. Randy Miller said it today. Don't expect another big move. And pretty much, even Jack Curry, everything that these guys have been reporting, have they not been correct, really, of the guys that the Yankees aren't in on? It was Bellinger or bust all offseason. So they've pretty much been spot on knowing what the Yankees are thinking. So, I mean, if you're following the tea leaves, I would have to say no. Kay used some friggin' SAT word to describe the big price tag instead of just saying big price tag because he's got to prove how much smarter than he is than everybody else today. But, I mean, as a fan Christian, not the guy that's sitting here trying to break down the team, I gotta believe that bald-headed weasel's working on something. I do. I at least have to hold on to the belief that he's working on something. But if you're asking me realistically, do I expect it? No.
All right. David says no big moves, but I see a lot of smaller ones. Carlos in the chat said, yeah, the big move is a big bowel movement is the next thing they're going to do. Francis, what do you think?
I think there's one more move. My rationale behind it, I mean, I don't know if people are going to like it, but my rationale behind it is that everything that they've told us in regards to prospects outside of not named Anthony Volpe has always been a lie. Always been a lie. You can go as far back as Bubba Crosby if you want, or you can go as recently as Jason Dominguez. You can everything that they tell us in regards to their prospects and what their plans are with those prospects has been not true, other than Anthony Volpe. So when I hear that Dominguez is their fourth outfielder and that their plan for Spencer Jones is to start him again in AAA, I have to believe that that's a lie. And that it's a lie because they're going to work on something where one of those two guys gets moved. I don't see one of those two guys being moved in a Peralta deal, but it's possible. It's possible. But when I look at this team, and I look at where they are, even for Brian Cashman, I feel like he has to have something up his sleeve. I feel like the Cody Bellinger stuff.
Up. News coming out.
What?
Looks like Peralta could be going to the Mets.
No.
John Heyman hearing something is brewing with Mets and Brewers.
Yeah,
I see it. I see it right there. Look at that.
Well, we did say before, right, that it does make the most sense for them.
They need it more.
They need it way more than the Yankees do. And but folks, don't sit there and go, Pete, you're trying to cope with this. No, they do need them more. I'm not saying the Yankees shouldn't do it, but
it's obvious though.
It's brewing with the Brewers, obviously obvious. But I want to finish my point here really quickly about the same question that was asked. My answer is it got to be a yes. And the only reason why I say it's got to be a yes is what are they going to do with everybody? You can't sit there and tell me there's no available player that can improve this club that maybe we're not talking about because we're not privy to what's going on. We're not privy to conversations. We don't know what the conversations have been. I just can't believe that Jason Dominguez is going to really be your fourth outfielder. You're going to have AAA is going to have a stacked rotation this year. You mean to tell me none of these guys are going to be moved to improve your club? I don't believe that. I can't fully understand and comprehend that the Yankees, who I don't believe are truly trying to win. I don't. People get mad at me when I say that. I don't believe they're putting their best foot forward to win. And they could prove it wrong by going out there making a few more moves. But I truly, truly, truly believe that they got to make another move. I don't know if it's for a starting pitcher. I don't know if it's for a shortstop. I don't know what the surprise could be. But the only reason I do say yes is because they got so many players that they don't have a spot for, and it just doesn't add up anymore. It's not like you signed Cody Bellinger to a one-year deal. You got two spots that's going to be available. And they could sit there and go, well, look, you think they have any chance of saying, we really believe Jason Dominguez could play center field next year? No, they don't like him. We know that. Maybe they do that with Spencer Jones and go, we feel he easily replaces Trent Grisham, and that's the okay, cute. But Jason Dominguez, Elmer Rodriguez, Carlos Agrane, Louis Heel, the list goes on and on. You're going to keep every single one of these guys. There's nobody out there that wants them. I saw a Toronto fan of some comment on something I said and go, what you guys don't get is that none of your prospects anybody wants.
Sure they don't.
And I'm like, bullshit. I didn't respond, but obviously
it's
I
like
don't
one of
buy
the
that.
biggest misconceptions or myths or that other fan bases like, oh, you guys have a shitty farm system. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we overvalue it because we look at it as Yankee fans. But you mean to tell me if the Yankees started a conversation with, oh, we'll give you Rodriguez and Jones, you can't start a conversation there that people are just going to start shitting on that?
Look at what Lowe's just said. Since last year, they traded like 20 different guys. That's one of the biggest misconceptions in baseball. That the Yankees farm system is bad or whatever. That's one of the things that has kind of been done.
Look at the players they've got. You know what I mean? Like
it's for
they've got
Freddie
good
Peralta.
players back. Like
Heyman just said Mets in talks to acquire Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, of course. We knew that was obviously going to be that.
Heyman.
Yeah, of course. We knew that was coming.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've been saying, why did he clarify that like we didn't know what he was talking about? Yo, Heyman is
Then he writes
someday.
breaking. Let me put this on the screen. It's hilarious. Like, what the fuck else was it? There it is. Breaking. Mets in talks to acquire Freddie Peralta. There it is for everybody. Just if you didn't believe what it could be,
if it doesn't happen,
no, it's done. That deal's happening.
If it doesn't happen, this is going to be another one of those big Heyman fails because
it's going to be an arson judge.
Breaking?
Arson judge all over.
Yeah, like why breaking that they're in talks? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't
see how it's not done within the next few minutes. To be honest,
hours, like the next hour.
If they opened up to the players that we talked about earlier, then I could definitely see a deal being done. Because
look, man,
why wouldn't you do Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams? I'm sorry, if it's Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams for Freddie Peralta, who instantly becomes your team's ace.
100%. The Mets don't have that.
What is there to think about?
Mets don't even have a real number 3 on this team. That's why it makes so much more sense for them.
It's 1 year at $8 million.
That's
David
right.
Stearns, it's right up David Stearns' alley. And guess where David Stearns comes from? Milwaukee. What is there to think about? I'm surprised it took this freaking long.
Hey, you talk about running it back. He's running it back with Devin Williams and Freddie Peralta.
There you go. He's picking up his old boys.
Devin Williams was always this guy. Remember, he traded Josh Hader because he believed in Devin Williams.
That's right.
Look, you can say whatever you want about. Sorry, Pete. Just
No,
say whatever you want about the Mets, bro. You know what? They've realized that they had the biggest financial disaster in Major League history last year, and they blew the friggin' thing up.
Oh, I was going back and forth with Kev on this, but I'm gonna say before we wrap up, I'll say this because Mets and Yankees is a little beef going on a little bit. David Douglas says, "Is it true Tucker will get $1 million this year with a $60 million signing bonus?" I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know. Wouldn't.
All I heard was that it's 30 deferred, so I don't.
And it's 30 deferred out of the whole deal. So 210, you divide that by the freaking 4 years, and that gives you his luxury tax payroll, which is all that matters.
The Yankees signed Judge. How many years ago was it now?
20. It was the offseason in 22.
Yeah.
Okay, offseason to 22, right? Juan Soto was just signed to the biggest contract really of all time by Steve Cohen. This is the first offseason Cohen gets to build upon having that major contract, right? If they get Peralta, look at what they've done this offseason. That's my problem with the Yankees and Hal Steinbrenner.
Not just them. The Dodgers signed Ohtani to a $700 million deal. What have they done since then?
They've continued. And before anybody sits there and goes, but Pete, come on, man. What do you want that? $400 million? No, I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying, but you got to put your best foot forward. The Mets have also made trades. They've signed, but they've made deals. They made trades. And that's my thing. You're going to go out there, get breaking. Oh, I thought he put another one out there.
No, that was Sherman. He's just saying, I hear talks are serious.
Yeah, so obviously, Freddie Peralta, take him off our list. That ain't going to happen now. We know that. He's going to be a New York Met.
Then you know what, honestly, then just ride with what you got until maybe you see somebody pops loose at the trade deadline. Because honestly,
probably going to have to.
You were asking it earlier, and I was thinking about, because the other guy they're linked to is Mackenzie Gord. Why?
There's no point. I wouldn't do that. But I believe that obviously Peralta will go to the Mets. Good deal for the Mets. They needed him way more than the Yankees. We just listed the shit ton of pitching they have. But again, man, where's the creativity on the trade market? Brian Cashman talked about this. What did he call them? Creative deals or some shit like that.
Challenge trades.
Challenge trades.
Yeah.
What was the challenge trade?
He's made none of.
Well, the challenge is him. He's the challenge.
And it can't be Ryan Weathers. Ryan Weathers is not a challenge.
It wasn't Ryan Weathers because they gave up cab drivers.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? It's interesting to see if there is a type of deal out there. But again, the only reason why I say yes to finish up on that is I just don't understand. I don't see what else there could possibly be out there. They got too many guys on this team without a spot. It just makes all the sense in the world for them to make a trade. But will they? We're going to find out shortly. Again, just no full official deal for the Mets yet. It's just getting more and more news now that it's getting very serious, which typically leads to a deal. And again, the reason why I think we all believe this deal will get done is because the Mets obviously do have the talent to make that trade happen.
Easily.
And I don't know if the Yankees are going to sit there and say, we'll give you 2 good pitching prospects. I don't know if Brian Cashman would do that, to be honest. So that's where we are, folks. So I'll go around real quickly. We'll wrap the show up here.
Feels like it's only going to take one, which is the sad part.
And that's probably is what it's going to do. That and something else.
Jet the Met is not a pitching prospect.
No, so that's what I'm saying. It might take a starting pitcher and it might take somebody else, but his challenge trade, I guess, doesn't add up to that for Brian Cashman. So, Christian, I'll throw it over to you for your final words today.
Belly's back, baby.
wait. Where's it at? Here we go.
Belly.
I guess I don't got to take that off the soundboard this year.
Nope.
Francis?
Final thoughts. I'm going to leave people with a little bit of optimism.
Okay.
My final thought is, listen, guys, I know the offseason has been shit. I know it has. And I know the belly thing really put people off and like literally lulled a lot of you guys.
Can I cut you off real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Joel Sherman update again. Brewers have asked on Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams in a Peralta trade. Tobias Myers would also go to the Mets in a deal if it's finalized, and it's progressing along. So it does look like, yes, that is likely. And Mark Feinstein also says he believes it could close tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry. Good.
What's it called? No. So I would just leave people with that. There's something else coming. There has to be. It has to be something else coming. I don't feel like the team is complete as of right now. It just doesn't feel like that. It feels like there's still a lot of things up in the air and something's going to happen.
Yeah, man. We sat here. It sucks because, we sat here and gave, D's across the board for the Yankees offseason so far with Bellinger. And honestly, man, the Mets make this deal. How do you not say the Mets had an A+? Is it not an A+ offseason for the Mets? I mean, they're doing all they can for Soto to try to get him the win.
Yeah, I mean, they did stick him with Devin Williams, though. So
yeah, that is. They do have Devin Williams to close out games now. David Douglas says, how does Cashman not jump in there? He's not going to. He's not going to.
Can I just put this out there real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, the New York Yankees did this. Okay. They had the Los Angeles Dodgers had a deal in place basically with the Milwaukee Brewers for Devin Williams. Cashman jumped in there and got him, and it was a fucking disaster. So if the Mets are doing this, do not jump in and steal another Milwaukee pitcher, okay?
Oh, man. All right, fellas. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight, everybody. We had about almost 500 plus in here the whole time. Smack that like, hit that subby. We appreciate you guys. Again, any Yankee breaking news, you guys know I got you. We'll be live no matter what. Trying to think about any scheduled streams coming up besides podcasts. Probably not, but I'm going to try to do a lot of lives the rest of this month at least, just to kind of, maybe there'll be some sort of breaking news while we do that, and that's always fun to do, as kind of got this stuff a little late when it comes to the Peralta stuff. We kind of wasted a bit of breath about him today, but with that being said, guys, let's wrap it up. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out, baby.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next. We come to collect. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Now they calling my phone, yeah. But I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset. When they're at their best, we still not impressed. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Bought a watch with the stones, yeah. Caught them watching my throne, yeah. Ain't no one doing the shit that we